Yep, that's good to go. Receiving content. Started immediately and already regretting it. No, I don't want that on. YouTube. Come on, get to my front page so I can freaking link the stream. Excuse me.
Haben Sie geändert, das Deutsche Bahn?
And we're back. Alright, let me just make sure that I get the, my channel. I really do need to get a new banner. Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this in the main chat. I'm down, we'll come.
Come on,
Yeah,
faggot.
John, we could definitely use you, John. Paste.
Hello, John. How are you?
How are you?
One of those things. What you up to?
We're about to cover fucking probably Epstain as well as this crazy motherfucker. Here, let me just screen share. Share screens. Bunk. Everybody everybody needs a Monster Energy drink. Everybody sounds like they're dead in call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed off after the phone call I got from the Alexandria Police Department. Sons of bitches.
Well, just to let you know, Bubba, we'll be glad to let you go. But we are streaming. Would anyone like to hear about Bubba talking about his problem with the police today? Because I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, basically, when I got robbed the other night, I did a good job getting him on camera. Just the camera was too far away and didn't get his face worth of shit.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I will definitely try and go
unless
back.
a miracle happens.
I was about to say I'll try and go back and get that on recording here, but before I do a bait switch, let me just look at the chat one more time. If anybody could keep their eye on that for me and stream. Yep, everybody's happy to hear Bubba. Sorry about the audio peaking up there. Is the audio good now too to everybody in chat?
Good to go.
All right, I'll just poke my head over here. So here's the news story that I've been told too, and I'm told that there's actually a Kiwi Farms video on this guy as well as a video by another YouTuber, kind of a big one that ended up covering this person. We'll take a look at those maybe in a minute. Jessica Yaniv, accused of trying to share child porn and sexual harassment of minors. Recently, Jessica's story tried having some kind of swimming party with underage kids where adults weren't allowed. We'll get to that later, but I'm just going to read this off here. July 22nd, 20-year-old Jessica Rumpel provided a post-millennial with evidence of explosive allegations of sexual interference where she experienced as a young teen at the hands of Jonathan Jessica Yaniv. Yaniv is a transgender person who has recently come under a fire for a series of controversial human rights tribunal suits. Tribunal? I think I said it right. Yeah. They filed against 16 BC ethnicity. It's going to be on screen. Alleging discrimination for refusing to provide services to Yaniv's male genitals. Oh, I think I remember. Yeah, as I had that explained to me.
Is it this?
Yeah.
Is it
yeah,
this?
Yeah. Basically, they went in to go get waxed, and they're like, "We don't want to wax you," and they're like, "Discrimination." If only we had someone transgender in call. Unfortunately, Alpha's at school, so they can't talk right now. If we only had someone transgender in school, or perhaps in the comments section, or yeah, does anyone want to chime in that they're like, nah, that's not cool, mate?
Well,
no, by all means, take it away, John, Bubba.
Well, I was gonna say, all right, if this somebody wants wanting to get their nuts waxed or whatever, but okay, they got a bunch of people who's not used to waxing somebody's nuts. I could totally understand them saying no, because let's think about it. You don't take your car to get the transmission worked on to a place that only does oil changes.
Okay, I like that. Good as always, Bubba. In the aftermath, Rumpel's bravery Two new victims have come forward. As unbelievable as that might be, their interesting stories are even more shocking. 20-year-old Ashley Smith of Ontario, whose name is being altered due to trauma for the protection of her work and family, says she was victimized like Rumpel was a teen. Ashley was 14. Okay. A super fan of the teen pop group Kimerlo. Do you know this teen pop group, Step, since you're a teen?
Move the cursor a bit.
Yeah.
Cimarelli, I think.
Oh, okay. Do you know about them?
No.
Okay, so they're not hot shit in Stepland. Smith met Yaniv in 2013 on the band's Facebook. I had commented something and Yaniv replied back. Smith says, I thought it was the other girl who worked for them. Aurelio, but Yaniv clarified that it was them instead and added me on Facebook, Twitter, and Skype. So basically, from what I'm understanding here, Yaniv, that's the the individual in the thumbnail, the transgender person here, claimed that they were associated with this band, but they're probably not, is how I'm understanding it. Yeah? Yaniv presented themselves as the manager for the girl group. Okay, so we got fraud. Potentially fraud. Allegedly fraud. There, that's the word I like there. Which earned Smith's trust quickly. I was excited and I thought this was my chance to get to meet this band. She explained that Yaniv called her one day singing one of the songs Silmarillia was about to release. Yaniv was really strategic. They knew the fans of this band would jump on any opportunity to try and meet them or get close with them. That's exactly what I wanted, she explains. Yaniv had me wrapped around their finger. Smith explained that Yaniv had access to songs and videos that hadn't been released yet, and claims to the girl that they would be talking to Cimarellia about her to keep her hanging on. That seemed to start out... Well, this is really bad. This is professional. Innocence took a very dark turn. I think this is the Daily Beast. We'll look up at whatever it is. It could be said that Yaniv used a 14-year-old Ashley Smith like a pawn at one point, instructing her to cyberbully 21-year-old Louis Noussac of Paris, France, another of Cimarellia's fans, who had earned Yaniv's ire for correcting his French on Facebook posts. I feel like I could do a cross-comparison here, but let's not make things more difficult. The postmillennial reached out to Noussac, who shared her story, who's been forthcoming about her ordeal on a blog titled Breaking the Silence. Okay? Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Oh. We'll put a pin in that. Actually, I'll take a quick skip through here. There is no silence to me.
Well, I was gonna say, Anthony. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the elf wanted me to read something to you there, and from Limbo, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, by all means. Let me include the article right here.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, take it.
Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't hear you there. You kind of broke up for a second. Anyhow, the elf said, they've been to a waxing center, and they'll blah, blah. I can't even hardly read that for a second there. My screen's so dark. And they'll do pubic hair for men, but they have to be properly cleaned first. And usually they'll only have somebody there who specializes in that kind of waxing. So either that person, the man that wanted his nuts waxed, either they was dirty or they just didn't have a person on staff to who handled that kind of thing.
Okay, good to know.
Which kind of makes sense because, you know, if the only one guy who knows how to do something, he ain't there at work because he's sick as a dog or something, you don't want to get somebody who don't know what they're doing to handle your junk like that because the next thing you know, you're going from Jim to Jane.
Clean yourself before you wax yourself.
Snoop Dogg.
Certainly. Let's see here. Oh, what's this? Lockmater. Not to mention it wouldn't hormone treatment be available in Canada for them if they have the opportunity and they are trans. It would be transitioning or seeking treatment, right? I can't speak from absolute certainty that does everyone who's transgender necessarily have to pursue hormonal treatment.
No one has to do anything, but it's like...
Is
I
there
would
is
think
there
that.
okay? Again, I don't want to be accused of like there's three cis people in the call right now giving their opinion. Yeah, if anyone more who has more firsthand experience, by all means, naturally speak up. I'll try not to ignore you. Icarus the Fox Kid says, from what I've heard, men have thinner skin in that area. Okay,
That is true.
all right then. Okay, getting back to this here. Newsack, now 27, has reached out to one of her friends on Facebook to vent on how rude Yaniv had been to her after she had corrected his French language post. Yaniv then weaponized a 12-year-old Cimmerelia fan, allegedly telling her fan a way to access messages and to see what had been said. The girl, who identified is known as the postmillennial. I think I already read this, an amount, managing to convince her to give her the password to the account, according to Newsack. Yaniv told her the screenshot anything that she could that was about them, that being Yaniv, that's the individual in the thumbnail, that made the screenshots public. The screenshots were made public on a message board of 4,500 Cimmerelian fans. That's the teeny bopper group, who Yaniv encouraged to send disparaging messages to Newsack. People were being sheepish and young. They called me a hater or a bitch and moved on. Sounds like the internet. They were under the impression that Yaniv was really close to the Cimmerelian girls, so they felt like it was their duty to defend them. But even fans took issue with the abuse that came from Yaniv. Let's just read this off from Nita Mo. Don't fucking call Luis a cunt. Nobody said you should do that, but what do you think you are? You're not even working for the girls. Stop being rude and everybody else will leave. Oh, here's our star of the evening, Jonathan Yaniv. Nah, I think I will do it. And my Armada Todd video will have 10 minutes of flashcards like Armada Todd just saying, "This is all Louise and she's a cunt. That's all because Louise Newsack and she's a cunt," over and over and over again. 15 minutes. Does that sound good? Does this person have a YouTube channel? That's a...
No, so
Did anyone look or... Step?
I could look.
Alright, I'll take a peek. Jonathan... How the hell is that spelled again? Yaniv. Okay. Yeah, this is the video I mentioned exposing... Or Blair White exposing Jonathan Yaniv. Jonathan Yaniv is not a canary in a coal mine. He's a load of dead miners. Oh my god! That's incredible. I've never heard a remark like... One more time. Jonathan Yaniv is not a canary in a coal mine. He's a load of dead miners. That's a sick
I am
word.
stealing that.
That is... Yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fucking study that, get that down pat. That is... I'm not seeing Jonathan Yaniv, so to speak.
You could filter my channel.
Oh, there's a Jessica Yaniv. Do you think that's our boy?
Well, Jonathan is
Yeah.
I guess. That,
No, perhaps not.
I mean, you can filter by channel. I think there's an option to do that.
Trusted Nerd. Maybe this is them. Well, it's not there. Maybe not. Never mind. Just looking over at the chat here. Indeed. We'll get rid of that. Just scroll down a little bit more. Jonathan Yaniv, basic wax scandal. That seems to go back a bit ways here. Let's go back to the article, shall we? In one post, Yaniv is seen calling they will make a video in the stylings of Armada Todd with 15-minute flashcards calling Newsack a cunt. Cuntgate. Armada Todd was a teenager in British Columbia who committed suicide after experiencing severe bullying assault. Is that the Amanda they mentioned before? And blackmail, leaving an impact video in her wake in which she held up flashcards detailing the ordeal. On the cyberbullying experience, Ashley Smith... No, I guess not. I mixed up Ashley and Amanda. My bad. Ashley Smith said, I was afraid to fight back and was scared to say no because I wanted Cimmerelia to like me, and I didn't know what was happening and what was wrong. Okay. I need you to lie for me. This is from Jonathan Yaniv. That's the person on the thumbnail. If you do this, I will love you forever. Go write and ask saying, actually, Louise, stop lying. There was no such tweet, and stop using my name. Like, putting words in my mouth. And here's the response. I would be... She screenshot it, and she knows I saw it. So if I lie, she'll flip out on me, and everything will be over-dramatic. Here's from Yaniv again. Go write and ask anything. Actually, Louise, stop lying. There is no such tweet. And stop using my name like putting words in my mouth. I believe this is from, I think Ashley. I would screenshot it and she knows it. Oh, wait, this is the same thing, I think, here. Yeah. Like with Rumpel. Yeah, like Rumpel, Yaniv also sent Smith disturbing messages centered around menstruation. That is a theme with Miss Yaniv. One of the messages Smith has provided Yaniv in saying, I want to be really good friends with you. Like really close, and asking a 14-year-old to tell me what she got her period. Wait, let me do that all over again. I want to be really good friends with you. Like really close. Asking a 14-year-old to tell me when she's got her period. Okay.
What?
Okay, now hold up here. I'm a guy. Is that gal talk? Is that acceptable gal talk? I feel like that's kind of, especially if you just met somebody and you're already fishing to find out about their period, that's a little strong at best. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, that's one hell of a conversation to have first time you meet somebody or something. Oh, hey, how are you? What kind of interest is? So when do you get your period?
I mean, the only way I can conceivably is, like, if this person was being a total bitch, if that was like a dick, are you on your period right now? But that doesn't seem to be the case here. Yeah, Yaniv, I'm pretty good at spinning bullshit, but whoo, boy. And another Yaniv asks for advice on how to get feminine hygiene products from girls. What kind of girls to ask, and whether or not to hang around outside of girls' washrooms. They do more than hang out outside the girls' washrooms. We're gonna take a look at that video in a minute. Can I ask you something about what we talked about in the morning? Oi, yes, wrong conversation. Lols. If I'm stuck and I really need a pad, can I ask a random girl for one? Like, if I am on a bus and stop noticing it's dripping down my leg or something, well, yeah. Any random girl, what would I say to her? Ashley, what would I say to her? Just ask for one. Say it's for your sister and you need it now because she doesn't have any and you'll buy some when she's able to get out. Won't the girl be like, okay, where's your sister? Be like, home waiting. What if I get handed a tampon instead? Lol. Be like, she can't use those. Okay. What's the difference between a tampon and a pad? Never mind. What I'm asking why. Also, what ages of a girl should ask? What kind of girls? Any age would work. What's the youngest I should ask and oldest? I would say the youngest is 16 to 17, which our dear Jessica Yaniv goes a bit lower. When we look at some of the things here, they wouldn't be weirded out or oldest. Well, I feel like I should say Lynn's age, but she's not that old. So, where the hell is this? We're asking for pad.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I got a message there from the elf. I was gonna rattle it off to you real quick. Like,
go ahead.
Only the best of friends talk about their periods, and that's not very often.
Yeah, I would imagine not. That sounds about accurate. Oh boy.
Yeah, and the difference between the tampon and the pad, one goes shoved up in there, and the pad just, sits on your drawers like a diaper.
So the pad sounds preferable. I would think.
Yeah, I mean, cause.
Okay.
Yeah, because that tampon, you just shove that son bitch up in there like a plug,
All
basically.
All right. That's enough of that, Bubba. Outside of the girls' bathroom,
No problem.
better. Don't make it obvious. What do you mean? Ooh, fuck, I just opened kid porn. Ooh, I clicked it. Link on FB. John, what the fuck? Don't click links on Facebook. Duh. It looks Photoshop. Probably as want to see. No. Fuck, no! No! No, Yaniv! No! Holy shit, no! 1,000 times no. Fuck. In this message, Yaniv admits to opening child pornography and tells a young girl asking, hey, wanna see? I wish they were 2 years older, implying that they would be engaged in sexual relationships with Smith. And later asks, would you date a guy who wore pads? Oh, fucking hell. Can I tell you something without it sounding weird or anything like that? Sure, huh? If you were 2 years older, I'd, with you. You're sweet, very nice. Ha ha ha, awkward virgin for life. My friend created that club. I support her. Holy fuck. This makes me want to get offline. Buy them for me and let me borrow...
Want to go drink?
Yeah. Do you find me attractive? Ha ha ha, but you live in BC. And I don't. Ha ha ha. I'm probably the worst person to ask because I never focus on looks. Would you date a guy that wore pads? Fucking hell. Yaniv is also admitting to having a crush on another girl, age 16, who lives disturbingly close to them. Yaniv had a Cimmerillion band member follow the girl on social media, and it is clear from this conversation that this may have enabled them to become closer to like her with Ashley Smith. Jessica Yaniv, blank, like a 2 years older than you. Ha ha ha, she's so adorable. She's 16? Aw, ha ha ha. I'm gonna stop going ha 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 in any fucking comment I have because it's so fucking obnoxious reading it off. Yeah, is that okay? She likes me. I like her. It's so cute. 1 second. Hold on. Lol. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I have a huge mega crush on at blank. She lives in British Columbia, right? 0.9 miles away. So we'll round up to a mile. Oh my god, you should tell her. You got the Christy Lynn Cimmerillia to follow her. Lol, she knows. According to Louise Newsack, that's the person who was bullied, harangued. You're getting too much sound outside. Let me just close the damn window. Now I get to bake in this motherfucker. Yeah, the relentless bullying I have been a victim in disgusting and a creepy grooming I've been witnessing to have left me with a strong need for justice. I hope what goes around comes around. Ashley Smith shared Newsack's sentiments. The two women have since become close. In fact, they say that Yaniv is none too happy about that. To other Yaniv victims, of which Smith asserts that she knows of many. Smith says, I know it's scary to put your name out there, to come forth and share experiences that now seem embarrassing, but you are not alone. We believe you. The postmillennial reached out to the Cimmerillia for comment. Oh, I guess that's what this is. But did not hear back in time for publication. The postmillennial also reached out to Jessica Yaniv for comment. Dear Jessica, this is from Anthony Aguilar, aka FNGR. I would be glad to talk to you. Perhaps there's a giant misunderstanding. Screenshots can be altered. Maybe there is some kind of malicious man and or woman hunt against you. Manhunt, I'm using it as a throwaway catch-all term. Colloquial is the term I'm thinking of. Yaniv verified manager that the Cimmerillia Facebook from 2012 to 2017. Oh, Yaniv verified managing the Cimmerillian Facebook from 2012 to 2017, alleging the role primarily consisted of banning fake Cimmerillian accounts. Yaniv asserted that both the girls profiled in this story were batshit crazy, also stating that the Louise Newsack, I keep wanting to say nutsack, was banned off of the Cimmerillian page. Sorry, I'm immature. So was Ashley. They were immature back then, and they have not grown up since then. Yaniv denied ever having direct messages any girls from the Cimmerillian Facebook, and ended the call when I began to read off specific messages Newsack had provided from Facebook. It is possible that Yaniv just had to go. I suppose it's within the realm of far-off possibility. Ashley Smith has told the Postmillennial she will be filing a formal police report this week on her experiences with Yaniv. Hello. Whomst? Yeah. Was that Elf? Okay, so I guess we're at the end of that. I'm gonna look at some of your guys' comments.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of. It's very loud and disconcerting right now, Elf. So here, let me just get to this. Comrade, not commie, Gen. I'm pretty sure someone has been keeping tabs on him and the fact that he's not organizing a topless. In fact, he's organizing a topless swim for children where no adults are present. I have no doubt that they are somehow proof that this is 110% real. So this is just I've had a few brief classes for contract law, and feel free to look this up on your own. And I deeply encourage you all to. For a contract to be legally enforceable, it has to be legal. So, could you, as a parent, sign a contract and have it enforced where you would leave your kid off somewhere? I guess to not be what's the term? Parental guidance would be
supervised.
Yeah, you would be denied supervision. I would argue that would probably not hold up in court. That's that waiver isn't worth the paper it's printed on. That's just my failed fucking learning as a failed paralegal. But yeah, that's probably garbage. Let's get back to fucking the main channel, shall we? Your channel. Okay.
That's got my brain hurting.
Okay, so here's the video in question I was watching the other day. Alright. Thank God for the skimming part of all this. Does it let you? Alright. Just going to grab some clips here and pay periodically.
Presenting entirely as male, photographing underage girls, sending predatory, disgusting, entirely inappropriate messages to tweens and teenagers. And I'm going to get to those messages and you're... Just wait. And this is what most people are talking about with this person. Also getting a women's spa completely shut down after causing such a stink over a female waxer not wanting to wax their male privates. And apparently...
Now, is it possible, based off of the picture that they showed here, I'm going to say 136 so I can keep a spot here. Here we are. That they were potentially taking a picture of themselves and didn't realize that somebody was in the background. I guess that would boil down to how often that they had made this mistake, where I would say that you should have some level of self-awareness, especially in the bathroom. I guess I was about to say, well, like, if you were, I don't know. that's very. Here, let me pop ahead here a little bit here, so I don't want to grab every last piece here.
As a woman and being able to enter women's bathrooms and taking pictures of young girls, like. It's incredibly creepy, and even I, as a trans woman, if I saw this person in the women's bathroom, I would question it, and I would be a little bit weirded out. And maybe I'm not an...
Now, again, bending over backwards as much as possible if the men's bathroom were broken. This person, though, however, is presenting themselves as transgender, and I'm not going to play gatekeeper on what constitutes and what it does and doesn't as transgender, but perhaps... If we're taking everything here as maybe a mistake, I would highly suggest that you should be self-aware if you're taking pictures. Who the hell else is around you? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe
not only that,
yeah.
but also common. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, common decency, common courtesy. That just seems like a no-brainer here on this. Continuing on.
Expert, but I do consider
Like
myself...
there's been many a time. I'm sorry.
No, I was letting you go.
Oh, I was gonna say sometimes they're like if a woman needs to go in the men's bathroom because a woman's bathroom's fully loaded. You know, a woman would knock on the door or something. Anybody in here? No? Okay. Or and vice versa. I mean, it's just common courtesy, common practice or something like that. Just using some common friggin' digging sense. And if I'm standing in front of a mirror taking a picture in a bathroom or something, I'm going to look around first and say, oh, hey, I'm about to snap a picture. You cool with that?
Yeah. Sounds about right and fair here. So let's continue on.
Bit in the know about what a transition looks like, and this person has clearly not transitioned at all medically. And if you're getting ready to say, Blair, you know, it's just a picture.
Again, look, I've heard the term gatekeeping, and it's not really my place. But from what I saw of this video, I guess if I had to be hyper fucking critical on what constitutes and what doesn't constitute as transgender, this would be the big knock on it. But the rest of this thing comes off as pretty sound, so I'm going to pop ahead a little bit here.
Do you see tits and pussy ever? Have you ever seen a tampon string hanging out of another girl's thing? I was really expecting to walk in and see girls with their boobs out. Went really well. I expected more though. I only saw one girl in her panties. If there's like 30 girls in the change room, how many of them would you say are out there changing freely with their vaginas and tits out? If she wants a tampon, though, should I give her one and instruct her on how to use it?
Yeah, that sounds very familiar, and I think, I'm assuming these are different images, so this is allegedly from different people, and I'm starting to see some of the same complaints pop up over and over again. One might call that a pattern of behavior. Is it possible that this person has pissed off enough people where, I guess these could be, again, photoshopped? Yeah, anything's possible. But, it does start to look more concerning.
Like, would I go into the stall with her and help her? That sounds so weird. Is it weird to ask a 10 to 12-year-old girl for a pad or a tampon?
Yeah. You know what? Jesus Christ. If this has gone on for a while here, where this is starting to pop up, and these are multiple different fucking stories, I'm finding it hard to believe. Maybe just people weren't willing to talk to Yaniv. That one fucking news person claims they did. Maybe people weren't able to calmly sit down with Yaniv and tell them, no, not cool. Stop asking this advice of younger people. What the fuck? Jesus.
I think I'm about to go need a drink.
Yeah, no crap. Goddamn.
That's the other thing about this. For some reason, Yaniv is either completely delusional or is knowingly predatory, because Yaniv believes that they can actually get their period. You're excited about girls having no right.
Okay, I remember this part here. Let me buck up a little bit here first. Pop up.
How old are you?
Well,
How old
message
are
from
you?
the
How
elf
old are you?
there.
When you're an adult and you are online speaking to other people, you don't ask constantly how old someone is, because you know you're speaking to an adult and age.
Now, here's the whole thing about this. If Yaniv is specifically going around hitting on people and they're specifically asking in advance, but based off of some of the behavior, this alleged behavior, that those ages don't seem to allow Yaniv to slam on the brakes any. So yeah, it paints a really terrible picture here. This next part is just, it's very telling if this part's true.
Is irrelevant. This is indicative, though, of someone who is consistently speaking to minors. Here's an interesting one where Yaniv is quote tweeting this tweet: "Judge rules girls have no right to visual bodily privacy from boys." And Yaniv quote tweets it and says, yes, yes, yes.
I need to go back to my chat, guys. Okay, here, just read this off. Strike Kiobuck. I think there's a certain level of acceptance that trans people are asking sensitive questions about their preferred sex, and they don't ask kids. And you don't ask strangers. Yeah, sounds fair. Sounds straightforward. Someone this old, I don't know, like, how long has this person been transitioned? If this is, like, I guess, like, within a month, and there's so much insane stumbling, their friends better sit them down and have a real strong, long conversation with this person. Holy shit. Yeah, find a forum. Absolutely. Perfect. Maybe they did find a forum. Maybe they're getting really, really bad fucking advice. Holy shit. This is from Natakami. I strongly recommend, if they really get everything and Yaniv admits to everything, bar these messages. I'm probably read that wrong. Or even look at a group sort of set up for people like you. Yeah, isn't part of LGBT raising some level of awareness of what is and isn't acceptable somewhere in there? Yeah. And if it's not, it should.
Not only that, but also, yeah, like you said, go with a group that knows this kind of stuff. If I want to learn more about bass fishing, I go talk to other bass fishermen. I don't go sit there and talk to a gardener.
Okay, yeah. Reading off from Devai Kali Tara. Thank you for all the links, by the way, in the past, for raising awareness and helping to protect kids. If trans from male to female, you will not get your period unless you have some rare condition. Well, yes. I should have probably read that off ahead of time. Yeah, no, I absolutely. From Not Kami Gen. That's the only thing here he says is false. That claiming that he can get pregnant. We're not clever enough to comprehend yet. Okay. Icarus, Fox Kid, I have never had my skin crawling so much. Yeah, I've had a Quillstroke tried tweeting this story at me, and when you see a story that's so outlandish in text, you start to think to yourself, oh, Is this just some crazy fucking internet drama rumor? But you start to hear it from other people. You hear someone read it off to you, and you're like, God damn, this could very well be real.
Hashtag LGBT rights.
Yeah, and
You're excited about girls having no right to bodily privacy, saying that that is LGBT rights. That's not LGBT rights. That's you being a creep.
Okay, so this is the part I know Steph was talking about earlier. The request for basically... I'll just let her take it here. This is about the swimming pool and the kids.
So my apologies, but I actually forgot to mention while filming this that Yaniv is currently trying to set up a topless, specifically topless, swimming event for children, and has put out this note, this permission slip to be signed by parents, in which it says that parents and caretakers will be specifically prohibited from attending the event.
I don't believe that this permission slip is legally worth its salt. Just based on, the face value. It would be endangering kids.
So this is a blatant reach for access to these kids, right, without any adult supervision beyond Yaniv. This is Yaniv trying to get to these kids without parental intervention. This is so blatant. This is so disturbing. And if you or anyone you know, live in this district and have gotten this invitation or this permission slip or whatever, I highly suggest you turn it into somebody's authorities, you turn it in and just let it be known that this is happening, because this type of thing is so disturbing.
Now, again, if Yaniv comes forward and says that this is all a prank against them and there's just a big, huge misunderstanding, I'll come back and I'll apologize. But there's a lot of allegations here. There's a lot of holy shit. Who knows? Maybe this person is pissed off so many other people. Maybe Blair White just got the story mixed up, and I've fucked up stories before too. But on its face, in regards to Yaniv, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. They need a lot of evidence to defend themselves. Yeah. Here's what they would
I
need.
could understand. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm just reading off this one. For no good reason, one way around that paper is sending their kid for an older sibling or cousin as they put the parent or legal guardians. You can't waiver. I believe you legally can't put your... That would be a clear case of negligence. I'd feel that if there's something that I feel a jury of your peers would probably find Yaniv and the parents both negligent at that point. Okay, this is from Comrade, not Commie Jenny. Please play the InfoWars interview. It's only 20 minutes, and it's straight up from the horse's mouth on Yaniv. Really? All right. Let's see if we can find that on...
Yeah. Now, quick message from the elf there. She asked me to rattle this off for you. It's only really cool to ask for pads or stuff like that from high school age and above girls. And that's just because it's a sanitary thing to do, because high school girls, they tend to keep the kind of things on them.
So there's
yep.
Oh, hold it. Yeah, there's two videos here with Alex Jones of InfoWars interviews Jessica Neve, transgender activist, and Alex Jones interviews Jessica Neve. Is it the 17-minute one or the 27-minute one there? I'm gonna guess the 17, right? Jen? Don't you just threw me $5 on that?
They said either.
Okay. Alright, let's do the 17.
Jones Show. We got this segment, maybe one more, so we got to move quickly here. I want to break this down. We have photos here and articles with you at these events. Or what are these events where you're in bathrooms? And I've got some of the tweets here and some of the things that you say here.
Yeah.
What is this activism? What are you doing here?
Yeah, all of those tweets, except for that middle one over there and the one on the right, are all fake, essentially. So,
Well, that's why I appreciate you coming on, because
Yeah.
you know you're quite the sensation online. This way, you get to actually say something.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who did this. I am presuming that this is an anti-LGBTQ activist. I kind of have my suspicions on who it is, but I'm not going to say exactly who, because I can't. But no, I didn't
Sorry.
write any of that except for
Sure.
yeah.
What did you mean earlier by you can't discriminate by age? What does that mean?
Well, what I mean by that is like, and I'm going to give you an example. Last night, my mom
Now, I'm not going to pick on them for being transgender, but the Valley Girl is strong in this one.
tried to book me for a facial, and what happened with that is the person on the other side then asked her, "How old is your transgender daughter?" To which she replied 32. And then both of us were refused service, not only on several protected grounds, actually, and this is going to go before the tribunal, but essentially on family status, gender identity and expression, sex, and also age as well. So
I'm going to be completely honest here. Any kind of legal insight that I could levy at this point is long gone, and I'm well out of my fucking comfort zone on giving any information on this.
I'm asking a question. If you're a woman, because I'm not big into, I might have had one pedicure, one manicure in my life, and I've been on a cruise before with my ex-wife,
Yep.
and they said, "Hey, you want his and hers facials?" They did this facial, put cream on my face, and did all this. I mean, they weren't asking man or woman. They just said, "You want a facial?"
Exactly.
I don't even get how they're like, you're on the line. I'm a transgender. I'm getting a facial, and they're like, "No, I mean."
Exactly.
Well, there's a difference between getting, I believe I've heard the term exfoliation, and a pedicure, manicure, and having something done on your junk. So let's continue on.
The problem that we have where I reside is there's quite racialized cultural groups here that do not believe in transgenderism, and they believe that they have the right. They believe that they have the right to review service on any basis that they want, including that somebody is transgender.
I mean, like I'd say 70% of the nails and facial stuff is it Vietnamese or Asians?
It's kind of a mix. It's like the way I explained it to the tribunal is when you deal with things like waxing, it's usually Vietnamese or East Indian or Taiwanese.
But you know, in their culture, they're not, or any culture, you're not supposed to touch anybody's. If you're a woman, you're not supposed to touch another man's penis unless it's your husband.
I know, but since when do we have a penis on our forehead? You know what I mean?
I don't understand. Why would we want to make a woman? I'm just asking, why we want to...
So, I'm hearing the general gist of it, that they're denying most of the claims here. Let's look back at the comments here. Let's see. We need mothers of invitation running the background. They will not someone wax you if it's a liability. Yeah, I've heard that. It's facial, it's different from twits. I feel like they're kind of addressing everything, whether it's true or not. What in the world? Yeah, Leo Convoy, there's a person out there called Jessica Yaniv who's been accused of doing various things or something like that. Here, I'll freaking pop back to the other video.
I am in a total state of shock here. Sophia, where's my cat? I need cuddles.
Lol. I didn't realize I had Monkey Jones in the call. Anyways, this is
wow.
Disturbing. And it's actually insane. I also question, I always wonder with people like this, like, where are their families? Does Jessica Yaniv have a family? And if so, can they step up and do the right thing to either get Yaniv help or keep them away from society and or children?
So, to give perspective here for Leo Convoy, who just popped up, there's an allegation that Jessica Yaniv put out this permission slip for parents to allow younger people to come up to their pool party without parental supervision. I've pointed out that's probably, that waiver isn't legally enforceable. Just because. it just sounds like a liability based off of if this is true. Jessica's video from Infowars there probably doesn't address this, since that Infowars video is probably a bit older, and this dropped. Let's see what date we have. The 23rd, and today is, I'm going to assume, the 24th, maybe 25th. Yeah. So that pool party either came and went, I'm assuming, yeah, or didn't happen. Let's look back at the comments.
With any luck, it didn't happen, because I know darn well if I had youngins, if they're going to something like this, you best believe I'm going to be there.
Well, Leo says that waiver needs to be violently shoved down their gullet and chokes to death. I don't know if Yaniv actually put out that waiver. So I've heard that. That seems to be the case here. I haven't seen anything where Yaniv specifically has commented on that. The Yaniv in the video seems, at least within the realm of whether you believe them or not. They're making denials about some of the other things and some of the other implications about them. I'll pop back over that one, and so let's fucking jump ahead a little bit here, so because this will be here all damn day.
An arm wax too, and they got refused service because the respondents claimed that they're Sikh and that their husband will not allow them to.
It'll be all biological men, nice pretty hair, nice fingernails, but it'll be biological men, and women will be obsolete in sports. Is that inclusive? No. And that's actually where I agree with you. When it comes to things such as sporting competitions and such, and I had quite a discussion about this with a good friend of mine named Lynn, especially in regards to the article you just pulled up. I don't agree with I don't agree with transgender identifying individuals going into sports and winning competitions.
See, this here makes Yaniv not sound so insane, sound level-headed, and a lot of the allegations are things that could be potentially photoshopped. I can't say I haven't spoken to anyone firsthand. The evidence does look really, really bad, but if they're denying it, I mean, again, they don't seem like they're in any legal trouble per se. They were in charge of like some kind of Facebook account for some kind of teeny bopper group for 3 to 4 years. There's some allegations coming up here. I mean, you have to kind of weigh in versus the lynch mob versus, what's fair and what's not. I'm going to continue to look in on this one to see what the hell it is. But yeah, it is concerning. Let's go back here. But I'm just trying to make sure, and I am being a bit careful here because I've heard this person's a bit sue happy. And on top of that, if they're innocent, I'd feel even worse.
When they still have a heavy level of testosterone. And I'm going to give you...
Now, for anyone who wants to know what they're talking about here, the way I know about this is from when I used to watch mixed martial arts of the UFC. I think it's like ERT or TRT is like a estrogen replacement therapy. There's certain balances in the human body that basically in bone structure that would give someone a one-up in certain situations. Now, we could... Again, just from the experience, the platform I'm familiar with, which would be MMA, just because of bone structure and naturally a body producing testosterone for years and years and years, you would a male to female transgender fighter, like say Fallon Fox, inherently would have an unfair advantage over a female fighter. I've seen some of the interviews where they said I felt like I was being hit by a dude. That's just this part here. Let's pop ahead here since I basically agree with that part.
Example here.
Change their environment. We build our own structures. We change ourselves. That's a human trait.
Yeah.
But the whole trans movement beyond changing sex is getting us ready for brain chips, Elon Musk.
Oh, we're getting on the InfoWars crazy bullshit here. Let's do another jump.
It was something like called the rant room, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so yeah. Did you tweet this right here?
Nope. Nope, not at all. Why would I? Photos. Why would I? That's the thing.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're familiar. Are you familiar with the work I do?
I am. Into a donut shop and the donut shop owner says, "No, I don't want to serve you because you're a cop." That would technically be
sure, that's wrong, but
that is
but
wrong.
It's not if the cop walked in and said, "Wax my male genitals. I'm a woman."
Pop ahead, trying to get around their music.
View supposedly speaks out. It's a big article out of the Post-Millennial. You're going to these courts. You're saying these people are abusing you, not waxing you, but other people are stepping forward saying that, hey, we're being harassed by this person. What's your take?
Yeah, I think the Post-Millennial is exactly the article that we were just reading off before, so this ties together pretty good.
That, one thing I want to say about the Post-Millennial is it's to my understanding that the counsel, the owner of the law firm that is counsel to the respondents owns the postmillennial.com. They have published defamatory articles about me day in and day out. But I really want to get to something important here because I do believe that this is important. Going back to the refusal of service, they're essentially saying that we won't do service on a man or a transgender. But transgender also means female to male. I have a friend. His name is.
Health issue.
What do you mean?
Well, you're actually well spoken and holding your own. But I mean, a lot of times you see a crazy transgender bank robber but there are a lot of autistic.
All right, so I'm trying to just get around Alex Jones being Alex Jones here, so I can try and get to more about our friend Jessica here.
Hearing on the 26th, that is an uncontested hearing that's clumped with 3 people.
But hold on, we got to have you back on. You're on the war room today. I think Becca should go on.
Yeah, there's one really, Alex, there's one really important fact here.
Problem that you're having to sue over women won't wax your tallywhacker.
There's one really important fact here that I want to bring up, and I want Becca to affirm this, that a Brazilian is not a Brazilian is not gender assigned, meaning it's not implicitly female and it's not implicitly male.
Okay, from what I'd heard, and this sounded like it matched up for when this video here from Blair White. They talked about it for people who have, like, I think their remark was people with transgender dysphoria, someone wouldn't want them touching them down there below. That does sound like it's, I mean, I don't want to assign that it's just that there's one cookie cutter way things are. So maybe not. I don't know what what's in their mind, and I don't know what their condition is. If they're stating, unless there's, I guess, there's certainly, there would have to be a lot of people out to get Jessica. If I definitely would like to hear a follow-up if there's more proof about the pull thing here. Did everybody hang up? Hello?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say. Oh,
there?
jeez. Yeah. Wow. I was like, man, my whole group just did not want to talk about this. This is a real tough one here. I'll go back to the comment section here, Silver Fox. But yeah, if you're going to get a wax and still you're going to stick berries to go to a female wax job, they aren't going to know how to wax you properly. Yeah, no, that's definitely fair here. It can take years of therapy to get past these situations. From Comrade, not Kami Jinjin. Look up Back Blunts 11 minutes vid, way better. Backed Blunts. All right.
Yeah, because I mean that'd make perfect sense if if a woman ain't ever handled that kind of equipment before, you wouldn't exactly want her to handle that, you know.
Let's see if I did that right. Baked blunts, derp. I am all kinds of stupid. You could tell I'm not a stoner. Lol. Okay. Yaniv, ban happy, trans herpy. Victim or inserting. Where is Baked Blunts, if I can be so kind as to ask? Jen? Where? Yeah, is that on YouTube or what? No. Where would I look? Mines? FNGR just makes videos for views. I'm just telling you, I'm not so sure this is going to do so good. For example, I put a fair amount of time working on the Ralph Retort video, and if you look up Ralph Retort on fucking Lou the Kitty, here, Minecraft Kid, I'll show you something here. I knew this before I made that video. Lou the Kitty, Ralph Retort. Well, that was much lower when I first saw it, so 2.6K. This was out way beforehand, so if I really, really cared that bad, I probably would have worked on it that much harder and faster on the weekend, if it was just about the views. And from what I understand, this thing here is just straight up a clip. I put it in there and I sat there and gave my own shots, and I'm probably going to do a follow-up on the next one, which I'll probably do maybe 500, 600. I'll probably have already missed the bus on the window of opportunity. I want people to know that fucking Lou lied about OJJ. There's some things that I felt like bringing up about Dylan, because Lou said that she went out of her way to fucking kind of, OJJ said that he kind of fucking, Dylan was kind of helped out with some of the harassment about him. So no, if it were just about views, I would just bite my tongue, because Lord knows I wouldn't want to talk shit about Dylan, because that'll probably cost me. Animated Demon, Buttons is not associated with me, nor is she in any of the chats that I'm in. So, next question. Captain Squid, someone better pick up the phone, because I fucking called it. In regards to what, Captain Squid? What about the rumors on FNGR being a pedo himself? No. Next question.
I'm still curious about this pool party thing. Yeah, boy, that still got me
I'm
curious.
just going through the Twitter chat. Is it because you shouldn't be hit with a lawsuit when you're being turned away, especially if someone who handles male waxing isn't available? Because, yeah, I've seen that back and forth. Are you guys from Kiwi Farms? I don't know. Who is? Oh, are we talking about Trusted Nerd? I'm just scrolling up here just to make sure here. Scrolling back down. Oh, here we are. Captain Squid. Oh, no, I already did that one. Animated Demon. Oh, Lord. Jonathan Yaniv. Don't make the unsmiley face thing, Demon, because you know you're going to come back and you're going to ask it like a retard every fucking stream. But I'll read it off. I'll read it off all the same. The Animated Demon will come to the stream. His Buttons here. No, Buttons isn't here. You're like that really slow pro wrestling fan back in the day. Is Randy Macho Man Savage still on the WWF? No, they're on the other channel. Okay, I'll come back next week. Moron. That's the link for Comrade. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here, I'll grab that one. I will grab that. Copy.
You know, a thought just occurred to me about that pool party thing.
All right. Here we go. Let's give this one a look here. So, transgender baked blunts. This is our boy.
For example, if you start hormone blockers at age 14 pre-puberty, you're not going to develop into the biological gender that you were born as. You will transition to the gender that you're on the hormones for. For example, if you're
but that's my point. That's permanent physical abuse. Some could say that's permanently affecting somebody's life.
It's not permanent. It's not permanent at all.
You can't reverse those effects. You may be able to change things, but that happened. You can't change that. Specifically because she, as a woman, felt discriminated against because she couldn't get a Brazilian wax on her balls. Yes, that is the reality of the situation right now. Now, look.
Don't they sell creams that make hair fall off that you could buy from a store?
Yeah, Nair.
Okay.
But it
This
don't
is an
work all that
interesting-
well on thick, coarse hairs, like
All right,
and everything. It don't work that well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, I understand that generally if you wanted to have the same service that was allotted to everybody else, but, okay.
Position I'm in here, Jessica, because I'm sure that you can understand a lot of people want me to basically eviscerate you. And apparently you're a fan of InfoWars, so you know what that would mean coming on air with me if that's what I wanted to do. I don't want to do that to you. Personally, I don't have anything against anybody for anything that they do, whether sexually or anything like that. So that's not my angle. I know a lot of transsexual people that listen to this. I met a lot of them.
Let's bump ahead a little bit here past the patty cake.
These events currently run in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm not gonna say where they run, but it's not easy. It's not hard to it's not hard to find out exactly where these events are taking place, but they are in Vancouver currently.
Okay.
And
But why
there's
the
no
encouragement?
and the one thing I want to say is because it's not fully out there and it's not fully published like on Facebook or anything, no one really knows about it. This event has been going on for at least a year, if not over a year now, without any real opposition.
Let me bring this angle to you. I believe it's in the DSM-4, maybe even before that, and it might be in the DSM-5 too. They classify transsexualism or people that believe they're a different gender as a mental disorder. And so let's take that for what it is. Don't you think parents would be concerned that events like this and Drag Queen Storytime and Desmond the Amazing Drag Queen who dances for dollars?
Okay. I'm going to talk about Desmond is Amazing since that just came up. That's like some 12 or 11-year-old that you can find a series of videos on that doesn't feel appropriate. you shouldn't have your preteen, or I wouldn't even say your teenager out there for grown men throwing money out at. That just feels fucking yuck and gross. And it's not me judging fucking transgender. I'm like, dude, it's a kid. If that were 11 or 12-year-old girl, that'd be yuck and gross. So I don't know what the fuck, how that's cool. As for fucking the DSM-5 or the DSM-4 or something like that, I'm not a doctor and I can't really speak intelligently on that. If again, this person here seems like, even judging by Alex Jones and this guy here, seems that they're arguing more about what was right or not about if Yaniv should be allowed to go get their wax. If they're denying all those tweets that we all sat there and said those are really wrong and fucked up, I don't feel that unless they've touched upon them taking the pictures in the bathroom, which I suppose maybe they were being absent-minded at the time. I guess I definitely would want to fucking know more about that. Let's pop back on the fucking stream here, guys. Jen, I can't watch anything on Desmond anymore. My heart breaks for that poor thing.
Oh, that kid's going to be needing some serious therapy when he gets older. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, I'll put it to you like this. When you're an adult and you put information out there, or if you're a kid, there's no rewind button. And once it's out there, and it's up to your parents to sit there and give you the tools, make you old enough before you really, make yourself a public pariah. And in Desmond's case, I feel like their parents were really lackadaisical and lazy. I think that's probably as bad a case as I hope there isn't anything worse than that. And I'm not talking shit to Desmond. That's all on the parents.
Who is this Desmond individual?
You look up Desmond Amazing on YouTube. For no good reason. Which How Not to Brony do you regret making? There was a PSA that wasn't quite How Not to Brony. I had to private. It winded up where I was talking about I talked about Jasmine Blue briefly, which was how the video originally got fucking flagged down. I engaged Brooke, I think, a little bit about fucking Spoctor Theory, which that winded up being a mishit. And I also, at the tail end of that video, I had a go at Shiakami about fucking, I think, Spoctor Theory. So top to bottom, that 11, 15-minute video was just a fucking nightmare of horrible, god-awful bullshit. Animated James, FNGR is my name, Jeff. Okay, I don't know what that's all about. After the stream, Demon, Migs, I think, says wants to have a word with you. Am I understanding that right, or is that about Lou, Migs?
no, that's about Lou, not Demon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming we're not going to get another fucking... Oddly enough, Demon, every time I've told you to talk...
Oh!
No, hold it, but before you start shrieking there. Every time I've talked to you to talk to Lou, I've actually had no plan or no questions. That's just me being a jackass, Demon. I'm sure I'd probably think of something, especially if Demon, or if we just kept Lou talking. I'm sure she'd open up the fucking door and do such a wonderful job all on her own because she's... Mwah. Animated Demon, Migs is such a try-hard spurg, lol. I mean, you haven't seen him when he's working on his video. Working on your little video there, Migs?
Fuck you. Oh, that's the
Migs, he's got some big stuff going on there, Demon. He doesn't have time for little bees like you. He's got a big video he's working on. Anyways.
Yeah, but honestly though, I was actually in a call with Demon yesterday. He was literally shrieking at like being unfunny for like literally an hour straight. Well, actually no, 15 minutes straight, due to the fact that like, you know, he fucking like he tried to get his point across that he wasn't defending Lou, even though he really was.
Okay. Icarus the Fox Kid, for no good reason. As a man that has raised kids, I don't genuinely care who does what with their lives. I don't really think that children should have their genders until they're 15. You know, I don't know the right time, but I know when it's wrong, you know? I'm not going to set it at fucking 15, 16 because I'm sure someone later on will be like, well, this is why you're wrong. And I'm like, no, I know when they're really young, like in Desmond, amazing, whatever his damn name is, I keep forgetting it, because I don't want to make a video about it. Good goddamn. Yeah, amazing Desmond, that's some really uncomfortable
Why the hell do child drag artists exist again?
This is from Strife Kiaba. Desmond is hanging out around a convicted murderer who has a fascination with hard drugs, chloroform, so that's something.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
I don't think that there's enough super chats and subs and views in the world that'll make me want to cover Desmond the Amazing. But you know what? They always say never say never. You know what? If I had Leo Convoy and Burning Spectre here, so as I sit there and fucking mentally shut down, I could hand off the podcast and just go into a catatonic state, I might be able to do Desmond. Especially
Did you just say super chat?
Pour me a highball. Pour me a drink as I sit here and vegetate in the corner.
Just rocking back and forth, sucking your thumb and crying for the world and all its.
Yeah, Danny boy. Hey, how's it going? It's going good, Danny. It's about Vic.
Danny.
I'm just sitting there just making sure. The cleaning lady, saying you can change your biology isn't actually psychological possible because you can't change your genetics. You can't change aspects of yourself with surgeries, hormone therapy, but not DNA. I'm trying to be extra fucking nice this time because there were some really strong, serious allegations in, what's her damn name again? Jessica Yaniv's. And if the biggest... Hi, Migs, thanks for the buck.
You're my man.
Okay, you totally didn't have to, but I'll put it to you this way. If the biggest mistake that Yaniv made, if let's say that poll thing is complete garbage, I'm sorry for bringing it up, but I kind of feel like I have to ask. If their biggest thing is the wax thing, I can look at that and going, probably not the best look. But I totally would not have made a stream about all that crap. I brought it up because there were a lot of screenshots of people saying Yaniv was asking kids to do stuff. And since they seem to be denying that, I guess that's as far as we can go with that, unless any of those kids want to come forward. I'd be glad to give them a platform to talk. Strife Kiaba. So basically, FNGR will do a video on Desmond when he gets so coked up that they allegedly keep Desmond. They allegedly keep Desmond. The wording on that's a little weird. Kamer Nakami, ha ha ha. Desmond does genuinely look heavily drugged. That whole thing just makes me uncomfortable. So let's move on to the last story here for the evening, unless somebody comes up with something cool here. Just here, can you talk about Van Milo? She's been playing victim card for 4 years over false accusations. I'm gonna pop over to fucking Mines and talk about not Weinstein. What's his damn name? Oh, here he is.
Epstain.
Epstain. That's your boy and mine.
Oh man. I was reading
My-
that story this morning off the news.
So Jeffrey Epstein has been hospitalized after suffering a neck injury in Manhattan's jail cell. For whatever reason, my not friend Step, who likes reminding me we're not friends constantly, said that he's like, he got off, didn't he? I was like, no, Step, that's the old case where he wound up getting like about a year or so, where most of that he was allowed to go on furloughs off and the fucking do his work outside this. So anyways, New York billionaire, financier, and accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein was found earlier this week. Isn't it amazing? I've got so much more energy after getting off that last garbage fire. Unresponsive in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. It would appears to be possibly a suicide attempt, according to a law enforcement officially briefed on the situation. Oh, imagine that, another person associated with Bill Clinton with the suicide. Nah, you know the meme, if you do. Epstein was found with marks on his neck and has appeared to have self-inflicted, the source told ABC News. He was medically evaluated and then returned to his cell at MCC, where he was being held without bail, according to the source. The Bureau of Prisons is investigating the episode as a possible suicide attempt by a 66-year-old Epstein, who has pleaded not guilty to charges of sexual trafficking and sex trafficking conspiracy. Judge Richard Berman, let's remember that name in case we need to yell at somebody later on, recently denied Epstein's request for a pre-trial release on bail. Good so far, Richard. Good job. Don't be a dick. A decision defense attorneys has signaled that they will appeal. Per the source, Epstein is now on suicide watch. There has been no comment from the U.S. attorneys for the Southern District of New York, which is prosecuting Epstein's sex trafficking case. The MCC is famous for stringent security and high-profile prisoners, which has included terrorists, Wall Street schemers, and until recently a Mexican drug lord, Joaquim El Chapo Guzman. I probably butchered that, but Guzman sounds like a really cool last name. Epstein has accused of sexually abusing dozens of underage girls in the early 2000s. He has pleaded not guilty. A judge denied bail to Epstein after hearing at least a week, ruling that he might flee the country if he was released. The judge has also said that Epstein posed a danger to the public because of his uncontrollable urge to engage in sexual conduct with underage girls. Shouldn't he have said alleged? Anyways, Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida's 2008, soliciting a minor for prostitution in a deal that ended in federal investigation involving many teenage girls who said they have been sexually abused. That's the one he got the year for. Oh, well, actually, just a little bit north of a year. He was sentenced to 13 months in jail, where he was allowed to leave the county stockyard on most days and spend the day in his private office. After his release, he registered as a sex offender. You know what's funny about that? So during those 13 months, as I understand it, he'd have to sleep in the jail. I'm probably butchering that. But he'd be out for the day like 2/3 of the time. So during those 2/3 of the time, for those 13 months, he didn't have to tell anybody he was a sex offender. That's fucked. Federal prosecutions in New York reopened the probe after investigation reports in the Miami Herald sparked an outrage over the original plea bargain, which, yes, that is garbage. Epstein was indicated on new federal charges this month. The only way I could even make sense of that is if Epstein winded up giving something to federal authorities that got his sentence so far reduced. I suppose anything's possible. A lot of people are assuming that Epstein has like fucking just miles and miles of blackmail footage, which I suppose he could have just handed off to get such a sweet deal. Epstein's lawyer said he hasn't had any illicit contact with underage girls since serving his jail sentence in Florida. They also say that the current charges are improper because the federal government is reneging on the deal not to prosecute him. Oh, bougie-boo. U.S. Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta resigned after coming under a renewed criticism for overseeing that deal when he was a U.S. attorney in Miami. Good. Fuck you. you fucking unrepentant cunt. Let's see what the other one is. Bunk. Here we are. This is from the Daily Beast, so take this with a grain of salt. Jeffrey Epstein visited Clinton's White House multiple times in the early 90s. Being much younger in those years, I liked Bill Clinton back in the day. I'm probably going to say that a lot less as this story continues to unfold. Again, we're all talking about allegations here. A Daily Beast investigator has uncovered ties between Epstein and Clinton's administration that date back to the president's earliest days in the White House. Keep in mind, Jeffrey Epstein was someone who, has around $500 million. He could have had possibly some kind of business relationship with Bill Clinton that wasn't necessarily illicit in nature. It's possible, but we're still finding out. Days after Jeffrey Epstein's arrest on a sex trafficking charge in New York, Bill Clinton distanced himself from the high-flying financier and convicted sex offender. The former president owned up to 6 encounters with Epstein, starting in 2002, 4 flights on the billionaire private jet, a single trip to his Harlem office, and a one brief visit to his New York apartment, all with staff and security detail in tow. Let me just get away from that commercial. Now, in the Daily Beast investigation has uncovered ties between Epstein and the Clinton administration that date back to the president's earliest days in the White House, casting doubt on the oft circulation and narrative that the two have been associated after the Clinton left office. Okay, here we go. As early as 1993, records show that Epstein donated $10,000 to the White House Historical Association that attended donors and receptions hosted by the Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, keep that in note here, $10,000. Is Step still in the call?
Nope.
No, he stepped away.
No, that's fine. He often does that. The guy from fucking the Frenchman who used to be associated with what's his damn name? I wish I could remember who's the stop, don't stand back or we'll defend ourselves. What's his name? The one who Medicare used to hang out with. Worski. Yeah, there was a French guy. Yeah, the Frenchman who used to hang out with Worski claimed he got $20,000 from Epstein. So hey, I don't know what's $10,000 in comparison here. Who knows? Or maybe that's only they could find. Around the same time, according to the source familiar with the connection, Epstein visited presidential aide Mark Middleton several times at the White House. 2 years later, businesswoman Lynn Forrester D. Rothschild wrote a personal letter to Clinton thanking him for their talk about the financier. So yeah, it might have just been fucking unrelated. If you need another example of this, Harvey Weinstein's got pictures of him hanging out with like Oprah Winfrey and Donald Trump. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's any kind of illicit things. It's just one of those curious things to keep an eye on. Presidential Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida and some years ago, those with which he has been recently charged with in New York. Clinton's spokesman, Angelina Urana? I'm going to call him Urine. Told the Daily Beast any suggestion to the contrary is both factually inaccurate and irresponsible. Okay. Representatives for Epstein and Death Rothschild and Middleton did not represent to multiple requests for comment. Dinner at the White House. How Epstein entered the Clintons' orbit remains unclear. I don't expect them to speak up. Say what you will about what's their name, the transgender person we just got done talking about. They were willing to come forward and give a statement. I wonder if that's more than Billy will be able to do. When the president released his initial statement on Epstein, he did not explain the multiple other trips that he appears to have taken on the financier's plane, aka the Lolita Express, including one flight to Westchester with Epstein, his alleged Madame, Ghislaine Maxwell, and an unnamed female. Clinton has failed to mention this intimate 1995 fundraiser dinner at the Palm Beach home of Lulvin mogul Ron Perlman. I'm assuming that's a different Ron Perlman. Please mute if you're going to type. Where Clinton hobnobbed with the likes of Epstein, Don Johnson, Jimmy Buffett. I've heard that damn name. Isn't he like a fundraiser of some sort? Nearby as Epstein's own Palm Beach mansion, the money man allegedly abused hundreds of underage girls. Hundreds. 2 were clearly chummy by the early Clinton's foundation years, as attested by 2003, a photo of Epstein and Clinton in Bureau that appeared that Vicky Ward's, I'm not going to click on these extra links, 2002, a piece of New York's magazine about African trip. Clinton praised Epstein as a highly successful financier and committed philanthropist. I believe philanthropist, that generally means you're a good businessman. Is that it?
Good businessman, and you're like a big whatchamacallit, not so much a fundraiser, but donator to lots of stuff.
Yeah, and
like you donate a lot of money to things.
Yeah, and you're an investor. So basically, yeah. Politico recently claimed that Clinton and Epstein connected in the first few years after the president left office, citing people who knew those involved. The article pegged Maxwell as the glue connecting the two men. And Clinton's daughter, Chelsea, as the tie that between the president and the British socialite, whoever Maxwell is. Politico noted that Maxwell had vacationed with Chelsea in 2009 and attended her wedding in 2010. Oh, I didn't know Clinton Jr. here was married. It shows I'm out of the loop. And participated in Clinton's global initiative as recently as 2013. A Clinton spokesman denied Chelsea and Glishan were close. Damn, this one goes on for a site here. Documents in the Clinton library, however, attest to much earlier links between Maxwell, Epstein, and the Clinton White House. Let's just look back. How is everybody keeping up here? Is everybody enjoying the stream here? I would love that. By the way, from what I understand, I know I put this in Nazbol. I'll be pulling this up here. Where is it? There was a joke here. If you look on Twitter right now, Clinton body count is trending. Don't know what that's all about. We could.
Shit.
Yes, sir. Clinton body count. That is a spicy meatball.
You ain't online.
Yeah, you know what? Let's see. Is it still up there? It's still up there. It's top. No. Let's consider that for a minute here. Clinton body count. Now we hear about things like Facebook and Google scrubbing shit like this, and let's just lump Twitter in there real quick. If it's this high on trending, that if there is some kind of cover up, it must be so bad. Twitter's not even bothering to try and hide it. Kind of makes you wonder. You know what? Let's peek over there. I usually don't like being a trend tracer. I like what I like, but
But didn't nobody want to listen to us. I find it quite ironic how everybody with damaging information on the Clintons end up dead, either from suicide, a car wreck, or natural causes. They talking about Epstein is on suicide watch. Whatever. He is not on suicide watch. He is on the Clintons' watch. He is on Bill and Hillary's watch, not on...
That's certainly going around here. Paul Joseph Watson, take that with a grain of salt, is trending because of the jail attack on Epstein. Okay, yeah, that's a good answer. And a news story confirming he visited the Clinton White House multiple times. It has nothing to do with the Russians, and you will be... will loot ever cool with the Russian remarks? I'm not going to worry about the Russian shit right now. So the Russian is irresponsible for the mysterious deaths of 50-plus people in connection with the Clintons. Got it. Clinton bill count. What's so ironic and absurd is that the Russian Trump bots pushing the Epstein suicide and Clinton body count is nothing. Oh, people are trying to say that this is because of Russian bots. Okay. That's certainly interesting. We'll let you know the Blinton comments so many suicides connected with the Clintons. I've seen certain videos about that. I don't know how fucking valid they are, but it certainly are. There's certainly some interesting watches about those conspiracy theories. Russian doesn't want to prove that Mueller's 100% correct about Putin. Interesting that our politics today is the Clinton body count trending hashtag. Well, if anybody would like to step forward and explain how this is a story that would be on top of the Bill Clinton theme. I have seen that right agendas don't seem to go to the top of the line in these sort of situations, so I'm highly dubious of the Clinton body count thing here. Who knows? What do you guys think? The Democrats are getting destroyed here. Hashtag keep America great. Let's just see. Trump, Russian bots. Mueller did nothing wrong. Yes, there's a lot of suicides connected to the Clintons. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos about that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of in quotation marks suicides involved with the Clintons.
Yes. Well, you know, they have a lot
Like
of
the
money.
one guy who committed suicide by shooting himself in the back of the head.
I've heard about that story. In late September of 1993, Bill and Hillary hosted a reception for supporters who had contributed to the recent White House renovations, the nearly $400,000 overhaul, which included a new gold drapes and 13 colors of woven rug for the Oval Office, was funded entirely by donations to the White House Historical Association, a private organization that helps preserve and promote the White House as a historical monument. I think that's perfectly rational. Maybe the drapes might be a bit much there, but yeah, it's keeping up White House appearances. I do like being proud of our nation. The reception took place at the White House residency from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Good time. I would have never been there in the morning. According to the copy of the President's Daily Schedule, the White House's social secretary, Ann Stoke, who appears to be in the Epstein's little black book of phone numbers, was listed as the point of contact according to multiple attendances. The evidence included as an intimate tour of a newly refurbished residency, followed by residence lined with the President and the First Lady. Dessert was served in the East Room, where the couple thanked everyone for attendance and announced the Committee for the Preservation of the White House. Guests for the event, according to the invitation list, included the journalist and philanthropist Barbara Goldsmith, not familiar with that, Harris Jane England, political consultant Cynthia Friedman, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, and Miss Galician Maxwell. Epstein and Maxwell do not appear in the regret list, and there is a letter A next to both of their names, indicating they planned to attend. A pass release from the event put out by Hillary Clinton's office lists Epstein as a White House Historical Association donor. Attorney for Epstein did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Here we are. There's the list for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and Gleesney Maxwell. A letter from the following month reveals that the extent of the financier's generosity. Bernard R. Meyer and the executive vice president of the White House Historical Association sent a note to Epstein Madison's Avenue office on October 4th, thanking him for his $10,000 contribution. The donation that Meyer wrote would assist in funding the costs of refurbishing the Oval Office in the West Wing in certain areas of the executive residency. I have no idea which rooms the West Wing of the White House is. I used to hear names of the Lincoln Room and so forth and so on, but I don't have any of that shit long since, if I ever did have it memorized, it's long gone to history. A carbon copy of Meyer's letter has also been sent to A. Paul Proprietary, a college friend of Bill Clinton who visited Epstein frequently when the financier was jailed in 2008. Yeah, I've heard about college professors who used to be somewhat associated with Epstein. Those are the rumors, as they are in allegations. Visitors logs show Proprius and a Proprietary. I'm just going to say Papyrus, it's funnier. A Florida-based attorney visited Epstein at least 20 times during a 13-month period and spent in Palm Beach, a country jail for procuring an underage prostitute. One more time. He spent in Palm Beach County Jail for procuring an underage prostitute. Papyrus also attended in 1995's Prenuptial fundraiser where both Epstein and Clinton were present. Okay. This letter acknowledged the recipient. It's basically asserting, I think, him being there as well as the $10,000. It's on screen if you wish to read it. Executive Vice President. Goddamn. The White House refused to identify anyone associated with the Historical Association fundraiser at the time, but the records show that Papyrus was intimately involved. The attorney is CC'd on letters to numerous donors, in which Myers identifies him as the recipient of the contributions. Papyrus even wrote a $10,000 check to the association himself, according to the letter from Hillary Clinton's personal counsel, Susan Thomas. Damn, there's a lot of ads. Bleh. papyrus was convicted of fraud, filing false tax returns, and forging securities to hide his multi-million-dollar swindle of a client in 1997. Clinton commuted his sentence in 2001. In one of his last acts as president, the attorney died in 2016. That is, I believe this is the Daily Beast article, so if anyone would like to look up on our dear papyrus and double check to see if that's true or not, I've already been going at this long and hard. My voice is about ready to give out. I'll probably come back to this at some point in time. White House contacts that Epstein's name also turns up in connection with another shadowy figure in the Clinton administration, White House aide Mark E. Middleton, a friend of Clinton's from Arkansas and an early addition to the president's campaign. He joined the administration in 1993 as a special assistant to Chief Staff Mac McClartin, attorney, Arkansas insider, and added deputy to the consular. And there's so much here. There's a bit here or down here at Donald Trump, just so I'm not getting bored. Middleton and Epstein also appeared to share famous friends in common. Donald Trump, who once called Epstein a terrific guy, sent Middleton a signed copy of his book, The Art of the Deal, while the lawyer was working in the White House. The inscription read, "To Mark, best wishes, your mom is the best." You could take that as a dig if you wanted to be creative. Hobnobbing with businessmen like Epstein and Trump was part of the parcel in Middleton's White House job, according to the 1999 report from House Committee Government's Reform. In the course of his duties, Middleton was contacted with many prominent business people and contributors to the president, the report states, but it's also got the lawyer in trouble with the administration once he left. According to 1996 Los Angeles article, Middleton maintained a telephone line in the White House for months after he departed, directing callers to the trade company where he started working afterwards. He also allegedly held on to his White House business cards. I don't see the significancy. I guess maybe you're sort of misrepresenting yourself if you're saying that you're still in charge with the White House, but it sounds like he still kind of was. Maybe that's the gotcha of the article. That same year, the administrative revoked Middleton's access to the executive mansion without high-level approval, claiming he had abused his access to the White House to impress personal business clients. Well, if that can't get you arrested, all they could do is get it revoked. Middleton eventually left the trade company to start his own international consulting business, but controversy followed him in 1999. Well, we sure are jumping around. Oh yeah, this line's up here. 1999, the House Committee on the Government Reform subpoenaed him to testify in hearings about nearly $500,000 in foreign donations to the Clinton re-election campaign and the Democratic National Committee. The attorney refused to testify and invoked his right against self-incrimination. Several other figures in the scandal were later convicted of campaign finance violations. Holy shit. Are we anywhere near done yet? Oh god, no! Oh god!
Okay.
Holy
God, this thing's reads like War and Peace. Holy shit!
Oh my god damn! Holy shit! Let me take a drink. I've got the vapors.
Like, holy fuck, dude. This thing reads longer than anything. Jesus Christ.
Oh, mother of God. There, I just had some Gatorade. I'm sure Miggs is fucked off, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee you this thing was a piece of paper. This son of a bitch would be longer than I am tall. Holy shit balls.
This is murder for somebody with attention deficit disorder. Jeffrey Epstein's name shows up again in the Clinton Library Achievements and later dated April 27th, 1995, from Flynn Foister to President William T. Clinton. Foster, who became Lynn Foster's Dave Rothschild after a marriage in 2000. I'm skimming ahead.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude.
I was about to say, fuck this shit. I've had enough. Is Mig still around? I'm gonna poke him. Holy shit.
It's like, God damn, that's
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Migs, you around? We can talk about your thing. Oh, crap. That was just murder. I'm tempted just to end it off there, but I felt like I just, I've gotten as far with this as I wanted to. All the luck in the world to either Blair... Yeah, all the luck in the world to Blair White and Jessica Yaniv. I'm not sure I'll come back to that unless more information really drops off. Kill X motherfucker. Holy hell.
Hey, holy shit, dude, after reading that thing, I'm surprised you ain't got laryngitis.
Oh, hell, that was a nightmare.
God damn.
News article. Yeah, I think we might have come to our end here. Wait, did he come back or no? No?
I ain't seen him in.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming in, John. Yeah, I guess I got some stream in me today. I thought about really covering the Yasmin thing, but actually, truth be told, since I got to get some tips from people in the chat, I feel like that kind of helped out pretty good here. Let me just scroll back through here. No. Yo, Jessica Yaniv is kind of hot. I would smash that. Well, to each their own, Mr. Syria.
Have at her, buddy.
Brony for life for no good reason. How are you? I am. My voice is a little sharp, but other than that, I'm all right. I'm just looking through the chat here. But Trump is.
But I know. Going back to that about him being found in a cell or whatever and everything. Something that kind of don't surprise me none, because depending on what kind of watch he was on when he was before he got put on a suicide watch, because that goes back to a little bit of my past experience. If he was put in PC protective custody, no other inmate should have been allowed to even go near him unless it was a trustee like a tier walker, and even still they couldn't go in that cell with him.
Has there ever been someone with maybe their name is just a little bit more high up there that they got a little bit more attention?
Kind of, sort of. It kind of depends on what you mean, like by more attention. If I get a little clarification on that.
Well, I don't know. Did you guys ever have to, when you were a key turner in the joint there, Bubba, was there ever anybody that was in the news that they're like, hey, look, we got to keep an extra good eye on this guy because it'll reflect poorly on us if something happens?
Okay, now I got you. Yeah, there have been celebrities in Angola many a time. There's been celebrities. Like that rapper Lil Boosie. He did time in Angola. Now, bear in mind, this was after I worked there and everything, but he was treated like any other normal inmate. But sometimes you did have to watch certain ones closer than the other ones because they were more. They had special areas set up specifically for high maximum security, either for protection or because they were more dangerous than others.
So if they had somebody like a Jeffrey Epstain in your prison that you had worked at least while you were there, it would have not been impossible to keep him alive.
He would have more than likely been treated by like any other inmate unless they made him a trustee or something. Now, if he's put on PC protective custody, then he's treated just like he would be if he was put in administrative in the hole, basically treated the exact same way. And the only people that had contact with him would be trustees known as tier walkers, whose job it was basically just to make sure the tier was clean, check on any inmates in the cell, get with the CO that was working the area and say, hey, this dude in cell whatever needs this, that, or the other. And if they got him on suicide watch, every 15 minutes you got to be watching him. If they're on extreme suicide watch, you put a chair right in front of that cell and you never take your eyes off of them for the whole 12 hours.
For anybody who wants to know, I'm definitely going to include that Clinton hashtag here at the very bottom here. It'll be right underneath Leo's Twitter. I think he got his old one back. Actually,
that's good to hear.
Yeah. The trending.
Yeah. Now, as far as him like trying to ice himself or something, if other inmates couldn't get to him and he possibly tried to take his own self out, well, there are many ways that inmates have done it over the years.
Oh yeah, no.
Very creative ways.
I've heard all kinds of crazy stories. Shit. Yeah, but I was basically just asking because if he really did hurt himself, or as more people are willing to speculate. But from what I understand, he's unresponsive. He's not dead though, right?
I think they said I think they said they found him either unconscious or near unconscious, but they were able to resuscitate him and get him medical treatment and everything.
Yeah. Well, I guess
More than likely, if he tried to hang himself. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll put it to you like this: where people are like, "Oh, this is a job from the Clintons." If this was a job from the Clintons, wouldn't he be dead? They just left him face down and botched it. That sounds rather sloppy. I don't know. If this was really some dark inside job, you think that they'd be able to croak off some 60-year-old guy?
To be fair, there is a possibility of screwing up because there could have been an officer that that's not on the Clinton payroll. If that's the case, who just happened to walk in and see it and hit the alarm for a code. Call a emergency code or something, and it ruined the job. Or let's say the person that they got to do the job for them ain't very good at the job, and it's just somebody they had to pick up on short notice.
I got that too, and I'll put it to you this way. If that is the case, I'm assuming when Epstein is able to talk, he will probably most likely be willing to do so. Yeah.
Either that or this could have just been a scare tactic of make it look like an attempted suicide as in a way to look, unless you want this to be a real suicide, in quotation marks, keep your mouth shut.
I would imagine they're way past that at this point. I think that if
very much so.
Yeah, I was about to say if they were able to fucking, if there was as much, cloak and dagger bullshit as this, they're way past the point of threats at this. If even a half of that shit's true. So yeah, I think we've got to our tail end here. I'm a little fucking talked out. I hope you guys had fun.
I don't blame you.
I look forward to Demon coming back and asking the same stupid question next time. All right, Godspeed, everybody.